I just always wanted a little boy called Sonny. Always wanted a little boy called Sonny. His first name is Noel though. He's called after my dad. He was Noel for about...
Nobody knows him as Noel. No, not even in Temple Street.
When we found out that we were having a little boy, it was pretty amazing. But that's the day that we found out that he was sick. So we didn't really get to celebrate it because we were told the worst. We were told that he wasn't going to survive. They couldn't see a little part of his brain. So his cerebellum, we still knew that he had spina bifida. And we knew that he was going to need surgery the day after he was born. But when he was born, he wasn't breathing. So part of his condition, that little bit of his brain that they couldn't see, had fallen down into where his spinal cord is and had paralysed his vocal cords. So he couldn't breathe at all.
Then when they took him to Temple Street, I followed them over and was brought upstairs. And we broke down. As soon as they brought me into the room and I seen him, we broke down in front of it. They were more consoling me than they were looking after Sonny. I think all the nurses were looking after me. But it was scary, you know?
Yeah, so he had an operation to close the small of his back the next morning, which was a success. And he recovered really well from that. And that should have been the end of it then. We should have been heading home in the next couple of weeks. Only he just couldn't breathe. So he had to keep going back up to intensive care. He was about 3 months old and he got meningitis. And that's when things actually took a really bad turn because he was so sick. Tracheostomy was the only option. His vocal cords are completely paralysed. So they were going to put the tube through and then he would be able to breathe independently. That was a big operation though. I just trusted them. They were taking the chances on him. So they saw something in him and they had faith in him. So I had faith in them. And that's just how I got through it. I know that sounds crazy, but I just thought that ICU is where you go to live, not where you go to die. And then when we got to see him that night, oh my God, and his beautiful face.
Of course.
Don't think you should be eating that. We were told that the trachea would probably be for life.
Yeah.
Good boy. So in 2017, they tried to take it out and it was unsuccessful. And that was a real heartbreak.
Yeah.
So he went down for a scope to check and see if his vocal cords were working. And one was slightly working and one wasn't working at all. And they said, there's no harm in trying.
And he has a 3 in and we have...
They just sat there and took it out.
There you go. Now, let's give you a minute. So,
And then that was it.
good boy. What do you think, mister?
Yeah, fall asleep.
You could just breathe. You could just breathe. And we were just like,
We
watching
didn't know what to
him.
do.
Since he got the track out, he's absolutely flying. He's thriving. Temple Street gave us our boy.
Well, we worship Temple Street.
Yeah.
You know?
They never gave up on him. So we never gave up on him. They have like little signs around the hospital on everything that people have raised money for. The fact that it was 50-50 with our little boy for so long, but the resources were there to save him. And they were there because of people that are fundraising. The ventilators, he was on a ventilator for 4 months. He could have been on a ventilator for life and it would have been available for him. It makes a huge difference. Any type of fundraising is actually little people's lives that they're saving. We're just so grateful.